façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. Oh girl ça fait moi high nan façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. So tremble li tremble li tremble li tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly sous Kelly. So tremble li tremble li tremble li tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly sous Kelly. So tremble li 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 tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly. Oh girl ça fait moi high nan façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. Oh girl ça fait moi high nan façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. So tremble li tremble li tremble li tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly sous Kelly. So tremble li tremble li tremble li tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly sous Kelly. So tremble li 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 tremble sous Kelly sous Kelly. Façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. Oh girl ça fait moi high nan façon livrée sous Québec ça. So girl ça fait moi souhait nan façon moi là sous Québec là. So
World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell! Deep right center field! Carrying! And it's gone! That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
The culmination of the XBL's 19th season is upon us, and the title fight has brought us two worthy contenders, each with a bone to pick on the ladder to greatness. First, our challenger, the Kid. A meteoric rise from ranks in Season 13 reaches the peak of the mountain, and the landscape is ripe with opportunities to solidify an all-time legacy. Crafty on the hill and fearsome at the plate, there has perhaps never been a more balanced contender. In the other corner, the Wizard. Returning to the promised land scorned from Season 18's defeat in a dance, the calculated and renewed energy of this storied player and his club have all but solidified themselves as the one to beat on the way to greatness. A new champion is set to be crowned. It is MAMAJUNEJUNE and the Midtown Civilization versus WishboneRulz and the LaGrange Astronauts. It is time to get it on! Welcome to the XBL World Series!
Okay, welcome in everybody. I know the cameras are messed up. I apologize for that, but it's missed with me in the booth tonight. I'm Unicorn, but I don't think the cameras are important. What's important is we're here for the XBL World Series here in Season 19. It's number 1 versus number 2, Wishbone versus MAMAJUNEJUNE, 2 league office members, so you can't talk about script in this one. It's really been a long time coming, it feels like, but this is actually the fastest XBL playoffs in a long time since I can remember. And I'm really hyped for this one. I think this is going to be an epic series, and I know you are too, Miss. So how are you doing, Miss? What do you think about it?
I'm doing good. I'm going to let you start off the keys to the game because you were kind of the guru here. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so let's go through these keys, and before I get into that, please let me know if the audio is working, everybody, because I didn't get a chance to check it before, and I know that these are going to be on YouTube. And thank you for the Urban, if you're still in here. Appreciate it. So for the first key, the weight of history. So we're looking at the history of these two in their head-to-head matchups, okay? Wish and MJ have played each other quite a bit over the course of their XBL seasons. Both have been consistently at the top of the league for a while now. But what's surprising is Wishbone's actually 9-3 in the 12 matchups versus MJ, okay? And you can look at that and think this might not be a good series, but when you really look into the meat of it all, 8 of those 12 games are 3-run differential or less, okay? These guys are playing close games, and more specifically, out of those 8 games, in their last 7 matchups, they've alternated win-loss for 7 straight games, okay? And only one of those games has been by more than 3 runs. I believe the most recent one, Wishbone, won by 5. Okay, so we're looking at 2 guys that overall Wishbone has won a lot more of the head-to-head games, but they have all been close. MJ is right there, and they split this season. So I think when you look at the weight of history, it's interesting to look at how close those games were, but the way it seems like Wishbone is eking out victories. And yeah, that's what I have on that. So what do you got, Mister?
Oh, I like the 5 tools thing. I think that's a big one here. There was that time when Mama could just rely on his power. Back in the AAA, he just could out-hit everybody. He wasn't really a pitcher at all. He was never total garbage, but it wasn't really his thing. And he didn't steal bases. He didn't bunt. He didn't do any of these things. And the growth of MAMAJUNEJUNE is just incredible. I think his bat was always screaming XBL, but the reason he's at the pinnacle is because he's just been such a student of the game, been a joy to watch, not a joy to hit against. But he's a fun guy. He's gotten into casting. He's touching everything, and well, I shouldn't say that on air, but he's touching a lot, and he might be touching a World Series trophy by the end of this. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely doable, and that 5-tool conversation. Sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained as I'm trying to figure out how to get this stupid camera to work. Discord always has to change everything. I'll alternate it by who's talking, so here I am. But that 5-tool thing, I looked at just the fact that these two are complete players, and whenever you're a complete player, that's first off how you get to the World Series. But there's been players before that, like you just said, MAMAJUNEJUNE used to be just a masher. And then he really learned how to pitch, and now he finds himself in the Von Asen talks every single season, as does Wishbone. Both of these guys find themselves in the Von Asen as well as the Long Ballo discussions every season. So they've got all of the tools. And when you looked at their previous series, you saw that on display. I know we talked about that after the game. I believe it was me and you, that there really wasn't like mistakes from either guy in the series. They straight up won those series. They went out and took it in every facet of the game. They were able to take care of business. And that brings me into that third point is, can you continue to take care of business and limit mistakes in this moment? Obviously, Wishbone has been here before. He was here last season and lost a bunch of one-run games to Spaceman. But MAMAJUNEJUNE's never been here before. MAMAJUNEJUNE has almost had that monkey on his back of struggling in the playoffs, and now he finds himself breaking through to this final round. Does he treat it like he's playing with house money, or does he feel the pressure of the moment? That's what I'm really interested to see here. The experience Wishbone has in this moment versus MAMAJUNEJUNE.
Yeah, in my opinion, Mama is ready to step up to the plate here. I do think the patience is going to be tested for both players, because you're not going to get a lot to hit here. And you know, even in the XBL, which most of the XBL pitchers are fantastic, and the worst ones are usually at least okay, passable. Even there's a pretty big discrepancy toward the top of the pitching compared to your average series, where you're getting, meatballs here and there, maybe not a lot, but at least enough to mash. These two you typically won't throw those. I mean, there's a lot involved, RNG. It just seems like some days the pitches are easier to throw than others. But if I'm either one of these players, I'm going in thinking there might be almost nothing to hit, and I can't get rattled by that. So, I trust both players to be ready.
Yeah, no doubt. I think they're both ready as well. And I think that we're ready, Mist. I think everyone is ready to get the XBL World Series underway. We had two just absolute classics in the semifinals where both of these guys had comebacks. MAMAJUNEJUNE 3-1 comeback, Wishbone 3-0 comeback. Just really an historic semifinals, and what a joy it was to watch as an XBL fan. It was amazing. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get something similar here between the 1 and 2 seed, the fellow league office members, and two guys that know each other extremely well and play extremely well on both sides of the plate. So without further ado, we'll go into, I believe, Red Rock is the home of Wishbone and the Astronauts. He'll be there game 1 as the number 1 seed, and we'll get season 19 XBL World Series underway. It's starting to be time to crown a champion. So give us a minute, we'll move it over. Here we go, everyone. Loading into, Red Rock Park, the well-known home of the Astronauts. The return of Red Rock to the World Series, the return of Wishbone to the World Series. And we'll see how this thing gets started. Both of these guys have been playing on a higher ego in different leagues and the cups and things like that. We'll see if coming back down to 93 produces some fireworks. But the way these two pitch, I mean, I don't know, Miss. Like, we really didn't talk about that before. Is this going to be a pitcher's duel? Is it going to be a hitter's duel? If history was to be correct, they score about 4 to 5 runs per game against each other.
I think Mama's really feeling good at the plate right now. I think Wishbone unfortunately got sick and had a little bit of time off and then came back and was struggling a little bit in cup. So I'm a little bit more confident in Mama's hitting. We did end up getting the twilight setting here. There's no shadows. You can see the game really well, so I'm excited.
Yeah, this is one of the best batter's eyes in the game, Red Rock at night. On the mound, we've got Fred Hayes with Metalhead, which I believe a lot of the pitchers on the Astronauts rotation run Metalhead, and I believe they're clone pitchers, or at least very similar. So you're going to see the same starter for the Astronauts relatively. Games 1 through 4, pretty middling pitcher, but his bullpen is extremely strong.
Yeah, it's an interesting trait to kind of gorge on because it doesn't really come into effect that much, but when it does come into effect, it's a pretty big savior.
Yeah, I remember last year in the playoffs, it actually came into effect like 2 or 3 streams in a row where Metalhead was saving people's pitchers, and that's when people started to take notice, and I feel like I saw a lot more Metalhead traits this season, and now we've got a couple of hits back-to-back from MAMAJUNEJUNE after 2 outs to start off the game. He's got runners on first and second. I think we're going to see a lot of this in this series. A lot of 2-out, put pressure on situations. They might not score in these situations, but it's going to be really tough, I think, to get 3 up, 3 down, inning in and inning out here in this World Series.
Yeah, if I'm Mama, I'm already happy. I'm forcing a lot of pitches here. No, Wishbone does have a great bullpen, so that doesn't necessarily get you anywhere, but
oh boy, it works
look
a
at
lot
him. He's
there.
got bases loaded.
Talk about batter's eye and patience. MAMAJUNEJUNE, you would expect maybe to be a little flustered. That one's a mistake, but he watches it. A little too patient. So it's a 1-1 count with the bases loaded. Choker is on this pitcher. Oh, and he gets the ground out over to Glenn, and that's a huge moment for Wishbone, and this World Series almost started off with big fireworks, an opportunity for it at least. MAMAJUNEJUNE, a great job of loading the bases early on and showing that he's ready to be here and not going to be impatient at the plate. But Wishbone shows that Von Asen accolade that he has and gets out of it. Now on the mound, we see Bailey Lee, also Metalhead and Choker. Identical traits on these starters, but very much difference in the velo and junk department.
Yeah, and it shows you the confidence in their pitching to run those negative traits on pitchers. If you're not a great pitcher, you cannot absorb negative traits on pitchers other than maybe meltdown or something that you can just yank the pitcher. These are
deep right field, 97 power. It's not going to be enough, but it's going to be off the wall. And just like that, Wishbone shuts down a bases loaded situation in the bottom of the first. And before an out is registered in the top of the first, Wishbone's got his first run, and he takes the lead here in inning 1 of the World Series.
It wasn't even a bad pitch. A great swing from Wishbone.
He was ready for that velo. That one's too fast inside. Looked on. 2-1 count. Now runner on second has decent speed. That one's just high. Ooh, swung on only 54 power, but missed. Full count here. What a pitch, but it's just off the plate. And I think we're seeing, you can see it on Wishbone's perspective, and I think it might be the same for MAMAJUNEJUNE. They're slightly off to start this game. I think we're going to see the pitching really tighten up as this thing gets deeper into the ballgame. But right now, it feels like you need to get your runs early. Bailey Lee already has choker and is already tense.
Yeah, those pitches are, even though they're missing, those are extremely tight. I thought that was a strike, that last one that caused a walk.
Me too, and isn't that why these guys are in the World Series, able to watch pitches like that? Man, I wish I could do that. That's a good pop-up right there to get the bad ball hitter out. So the first out is registered. Alan Shepard is up to the plate. The curveball, it seems like Wishbone's missing low on a couple of curves now. Fastball well located, the signature MAMAJUNEJUNE pitch, that top and bottom corner on the outside of the zone where he loves to pound that four seam. Bailey Lee back to where she started. This one's got a chance for a double play. Too much speed, though. Wishbone's got that speedy front of his lineup. So 2 outs now. And Jim Lovell with RBI hero. We'll see if he pitches at him. MAMAJUNEJUNE's
He's got no
to.
choice. Oh no, I guess he can walk him here.
I wonder how protected Jim Lovell is behind.
Yeah, he'll throw him cutters.
A close miss. Another good eye from Wishbone. He's going to make him force him a pitch, and it's 2-2. Good location for MAMAJUNEJUNE. This one's a pretty meaty cutter, but swung on and missed. A little bit lucky there if you're the Civ. Gives him a bait pitch up top, and now a full count. A big moment here. He's got to come to him, and he does, and it's that signature low and away four seam, and it gets him. And both of them escape what could have been worse.
Great pitch, great swing. It's just it's awfully hard to hit that pitch, and he didn't quite get it. If I'm Mama, well, either side, I'm pretty happy. I made them expend some pitches.
Yeah, no doubt. And here's that new skill set that MAMAJUNEJUNE's worked on this season. Doesn't pay off there, but he's introduced that bunter to his lineup, and you've seen it pay off more times than not. This one's a swing on outside the a ball outside the zone, but it's one of those balls that you can get to and pop up, and that's exactly what he did. So runners on first with great speed as the pitcher comes up to the plate.
Get to be honest, if Mama wasn't my guy, I'd be upset that he's resorted to bunter. He's such a great hitter. But since he is my guy, I think that bunter's been fire for him.
It has, and I remember playing Mama this season and seeing him lay down a bunt. I was like, he's got this now too? Come on.
Right, exactly.
He already had everything else, and now I've got to deal with this. Full count after the steal. Runner moved up to second. A great four-seam low and away, and watched what a pitch. You're seeing these guys absolute dot. They're too we've seen a lot of full counts, really, and they're really making the pitch they have to in a full count. That's what you'd expect from these two. That changeup's well located and swung on over to Mattingly and put away easily. So 2 scoreless innings for the Civ to start. Runners on in scoring position both times, but nothing comes from it. And here comes Buzz Aldrin. This might be why we didn't see a walk on that RBI hero. Really strong batter up after, and he's got the favorable hand matchup. This one swung on well, 54 power over the third baseman's head. So first pitch and first runner on here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, should be noted, we got the great Weaver for president. At least 3-time champion, Weaver. Welcome.
Can't wait to be casting Weaver's World Series next season when he returns for season 20. I've heard rumors of it.
Oh, have you?
I have. Oh, curveball outside. That looked like it was fairly into the zone, but he watches it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't usually take that pitch, but he's not really, with Mama, you almost have to look fastball.
Wow. Look at that curveball. Look at that fastball. MAMAJUNEJUNE locating well at the top of the zone right now. And that one's located low and away. 2 looking strikeouts in a row. MAMAJUNEJUNE's got Wishbone thrown off a little bit, it seems, after that first pitch swinging. And this one swung on well deep left field. A similar swing to last inning. It's way back at the wall. Can he get there? He jumps it. Blinkers catches it up at the wall to prevent a run and possibly 2 and keep the thing at 1-0 going into the third. What a play in the outfield, and that's what I mean by 5 tool players.
Yes.
The fielding, the base running, everything.
Yep, they're both fantastic defenders. Make no mistake.
An underrated aspect of the game, I think, especially for newer players that you see in the XBL, is fielding is so important. Making plays like that happen. And this one swung on a little bit under the zone. So 2 quick outs. MAMAJUNEJUNE not being as patient as he was the first inning or 2. We'll see if he can get back to it. The bad ball hitter's up.
Yeah, I think Mama is the most dangerous player in the entire SMB universe with that bad ball hitter. He almost gets a double or triple there, but it didn't. Maybe a slight misreticle.
Swung on well, but a perfect curveball low and away as well. So 3 up and 3 down for the first time in this game for either side, and now we're into the bottom of the third. Only 42 power on that changeup, and put away easily at first. You're starting to see the location tighten up as I expected here as we get into these middle innings, but that one's a cutter, finds the middle edge of the zone. Blinker's able to get there easily though for the second out. Good swing on it, and here comes the bad ball hitter for the Astronauts. And watch another meaty curveball.
Yeah, the Astros are doing a great job on fastballs, and that's exactly what they need to do. If a curveball slips in here and there, that's fine. I think you do have to prevent being bullied by the fastball when you're playing MAMAJUNEJUNE.
Yeah, the 2 hits to the wall have been off of a 4-seam. It seems like Wishbone has that timed up to start this game. That one misses high, and it's a good eye from Wish as he's able to work a walk out of his bad ball hitter. Glenn's going to be on first, and Alan Shepard steps back up to the plate. Only a 190 average so far in these playoffs for Shepard. Kind of surprising to see anyone with a 190 average in the astronaut lineup. Already losing stamina on the mound here in the third is Bailey Lee, up to almost 50 pitches now. Ooh, and swung on that 4-seam late. It looked like it was above the zone. Gets him swinging.
I think he ran a cutter there, but a great pitch from Mama.
And now he steps back up to the plate, still down 1. 1 run is not really anything for a team like the Civ, but in a moment like this, just being down at all adds a lot of pressure. Pace now locked in on the mound. Not getting a velo boost, but junk and accuracy is above where it started. This one swung on up the middle. Mattingly dives. There's not a whole lot of speed coming down the line, and he gets him.
Yeah, Mama he's always got a couple of players on his team carrying pianos down the line, and that was one of them.
Yeah, it feels like every time it's a close play like that, it's your slowest batter. Blinkers robbed one at the wall a minute ago, and now he's got a single. So two outs, runner on first with great speed. We'll see if we see another steal here. Saw a successful steal an inning or 2 ago. Both of these guys really good at holding base runners as well. Another part of that 5-tool arsenal. And now the line out to shortstop and another 0 on the board.
Yeah, I want to cut in for just a second, Unicorn. You know, I want to say something about experience in general. If you look at MAMAJUNEJUNE, if this was a couple seasons ago, a player who can hit the way he can is going to get rattled when they're down. They haven't scored in the first 4 innings. But I think MAMAJUNEJUNE is just now coming into, he's got enough experience now that I guarantee you he's not rattled that he hasn't scored, and he knows that Wishbone is that good, and he's just going to have to keep fighting.
Yeah, no doubt. And talk about confidence building, the fact that both of these guys had those huge comebacks in the last semifinals. I don't think either of them are scared of being down. This one's over to right field, and there's a lot of speed, so he should be able to get to third safely. So with 1 out, runner is on third now, and a chance for Wishbone to get another run across.
Definitely not going to get anything to hit here. Oh, he chased it.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second. I didn't see what happened. I think it was a pop out over there to first base, and a big pop out that is with the runner on third.
Yeah, Wishbone got a little bit antsy there. Now he's going to have to lock in.
Number 44.
Bailey Lee's still on the mound, up over 60 pitches now, but seems like she's settled in these last couple of innings. This one's another 97 power. Consistently, Wishbone's getting 97 power on the cutter and the 4-seam. Now we're going to see the first reliever of the series come in, and it looks like he's bringing in the stud here in the 5th. If you're Wishbone, this is exactly where you want to be. You didn't build your starters to go more than 4 or 5 innings. He made it through 4, and now here comes Yuri with the reverse splits and so much velo. What a switch up this is going to be in terms of velo.
You know, you brought up a good point, kind of inadvertently there, Unicorn, but when you're throwing cutters and 2-seams, the reason those are so dangerous is those are going to up the power score, because typically you're gauging it from top to bottom. And so, you know, landing a cut fastball at 97 power, if he connects with that, even if he missed reticles, you can hit that out pretty easily.
Yeah, no doubt. Fastball with a lot of velo is much easier to hit out than anything else. This pitcher's interesting. He's got no curveball. He's got a 4-pitch arsenal, but with a screwball, and you can see that velo's affecting Mama as it's a swinging strikeout late. We're seeing some really aggressive attacking of the zone since this reliever's come in. And it looks like it's going to be put away easily for the third out. Another 0 on the board. Wishbone doing an excellent job pitching. Really, both of these guys doing an excellent job. 4 hits through the first 2 innings, but we haven't seen much after that. Bailey Lee now locked in. That might help her get a little more length. That one was meaty, but swung on late.
Bailey Lee has been pretty resilient here. She can still get another inning or 2. She's not going to get more than that.
And that one's lined over to the left side of the infield and put away. Seeing the top of this lineup step back up to the plates. Neil Armstrong in the 2-hole watches a cutter inside the zone. 1-1 with 1 out. Another good power meter on there, but just swings late. 1-2. And chases a cutter, a rare chase. At third baseman, Jerry Rice's dog or something like that, able to put it away cleanly on the third baseline. And Mattingly steps up now with a 462 average. Crazy numbers from the 3-hole.
Lee's kind of feeling it here, though. Those pitches are all dotted.
Yeah, you can see when MAMAJUNEJUNE's pitching well, he pitches with a pace, it feels like, and he seems like he's starting to pitch with that pace. Bailey Lee really shutting down this astronaut lineup here for 4 innings straight. But when is MAMAJUNEJUNE going to get a run of his own? I'd be surprised to see Mama make it a whole game without scoring, no matter how good of a pitcher he's facing. Screwball in the zone. That one's nasty. Another one from inside to in the edge, and it's in there. 1-2. Good eye on the cutter. Another good eye. Full count now worked. Oh, and perfectly located. We've seen a few of those low and away 4-seams that get them looking. And there's the first out of the inning. And here comes the bad ball hitter.
Yeah, Gagarin is absolutely murderous. Oh, but you can't mislocate a screwball to Mama.
Yeah, almost lucky that's all he got out of it was a single, because a mislocated pitch against Mama could easily be yard anytime.
Yeah, especially a middle pitch. Mama's a good middle pitch hitter. It's difficult to hit those middle pitches, but they're also extremely dangerous when you mislocate them.
A red reticle, but Mama's late. Now he swings that one outside the zone. We'll see how much speed he has down the line. He has enough to beat it out. So with 1 out, there's 2 runners on, and now MAMAJUNEJUNE's threatening. Reverse splits and RBI zeros, really negating this batter's power. And he swings at a cutter way inside.
I'm surprised he didn't yank that batter, but
Here comes the blinkers with a 404 average, the center fielder. 2 home runs in the playoffs with such little power, and that's MAMAJUNEJUNE for you. But a pop out right there on a good pitch, low and away, and so 2 runners get on, nothing comes across, and we're still locked up at 1-0. Interested to see if the power gets displayed with any long balls. Oh my lord, speak of the devil, it's deep right field and it's way out of here. The bad ball hitter John Glenn sends it into the stands, and just like that, a solo shot. It's 2-0.
I think it was a massively mislocated outside cut fastball that curved right more or less over the plate for Glenn, and he exploded.
Yeah, like Weaver said, to the moon. My favorite line from any of the lines in the intro video. The astronaut home run to the moon. We got to figure out something as slick as that to say. We do have a space-themed World Series here, I feel like. We did last season too. We had Spaceman versus the astronauts, and now we've got the Civilization with that starry logo versus the astronauts. It seems like if you go space-themed, you've got a good chance to make it to the end. I might have to look into that. A 4-pitch walk there. Bailey Lee's really starting to lose her stats on the mound, up over 80 pitches now considering a substitution with Buzz Aldrin at the plate. And we do see the substitution. Same arsenal, but K collector and elite 4-seam. A big velo mix up here with that low velo combination with the elite 4-seam.
Yeah, that's a wicked combo.
And gets a double play out of it here if he can turn it to first, and he does. The first double play we've seen in this game. An excellent job from MAMAJUNEJUNE, and now we're getting late into this ballgame. It's already the 7th miss. This thing's going by quickly. Another weak grounder to first and put away easily. That low and away pitch has really been causing fits for both guys at the plate.
Yeah, Mama he really just needs to. I'm sure he's not surprised. He's struggling a little bit, but he just needs to find. You know, he hit that one mislocated screwball. Just, you know, he'll get a few more pitches.
He's swinging at that inside cutter a little more than he'd like. Another one swung on way inside on the hands, and that's the quickest inning we've seen. 3 up, 3 down. And now Jack Smith walks up to the plate. See if this relief pitcher can get some length out of him. It's the 7th inning. A lot of bullpen to work with still for the Civ. That one's a hard grounder to first and put away. Here comes the pitcher up to the plate. He's considering a substitution, decides to keep him in. Probably a smart play. Outfield is shallow now. Swung on deep right field, is in a pitcher home run.
Gone.
It's definitely gone. It's over that short wall and Red Rock, and another right field home run from Wishbone. This one with Yuri, the pitcher.
Wow.
As soon as I spoke about the power, we've seen 2 home runs now in back-to-back innings. And Wishbone has stretched his lead up to 3 as we get late in this ball game. Every run added on is just going to make it more and more difficult. That one thrown out at first just in time, but man, what a big swing from the pitcher there. It's a morale killer, really, too. When you give up that pitcher home run, sometimes that can mess with your head.
Yeah, I do think 2 is kind of the same as 3. The problem is the Civs just cannot get going and can't cash in right now. Need another spark.
Yeah, they're even on hits, but we're not seeing really any deep shots from MAMAJUNEJUNE like you would expect. Every hard hit has been a low trajectory.
Yeah, the pitching from Wish has been completely insane. That's really the biggest problem. That's a great
gapper. Yeah, right field into the gap and a lot of speed. So a runner on second now with good speed and 1 out. Once again, MAMAJUNEJUNE's got someone in scoring position. We'll see if he can convert this time. The bad ball hit her up. We'll see how aggressive Wishbone is pitching to this batter. Now thinking about a substitution, brings in the specialist.
Right. Yeah, he's concerned about that BBH. Got a runner on second base.
Ooh, popped up. This is a tough reliever, though. Don't let the stats fool you. He's got elite 4-seam and specialist. The bullpen for the Astronauts, definitely the core of their team. This one's hit down the line, but Glenn able to glove it and put it away. And once again, a runner left in scoring position. We're into the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-0. Wishbone looking to take the 1-0 series lead here in the World Series, and MAMAJUNEJUNE trying to mount a comeback here, but he's only got one more chance at the plate.
Yeah, he's getting nothing to hit. He had a great double there. You know, needs to build on that.
Wishbone misses a meaty pitch, and now he swings late again on the 4-seam. K Collector's engaged. Cutter inside. Looks like the second baseman should be able to get there, and he does. Big man Brooklyn. John Glenn, who has a home run in this one, back up to the plate. We'll see if he can repeat it. Curveball swung on well, only 58 power and foul. And it's an 0-2 count now with 1 out. And the 4-seam, too much inside with that K Collector and elite 4-seam. I believe it was 98. That one swung on, Miss Radical, a good corner pitch. This one popped up. That was the best pitch to swing at in that at-bat. MAMAJUNEJUNE fortunate it's just a pop-up to right field. And now we're into the top of the 9th, folks. Wishbone is up 3. This is MAMAJUNEJUNE's final 3 outs to play with if he's going to mount a comeback. He starts off with a good single up the middle, and he's got life.
Yeah, a fantastic swing. That was more or less a corner pitch. But that's all he's getting right now. So he needs a couple more singles to put a little bit of scare into Tereshnikova. or Tereshkova.
A good corner pitch, but a better swing from Mama. See if he's able to lay off these inside moving fastballs. He swings at one there off the plate. That's been his weakness so far in this game. And Wishbone is definitely one of the best, if not the best, at exploiting your weaknesses at the plate and the way he's able to figure out what it is and attack it. The back end of the order up here with everything on the line. Swings at another one way inside. Curveball low and away. Can he watch it? He does it. It's a chance for a double play. He does have a sprinter trait, though, and he beats it easily.
Wow, that hitter was really moving down the line.
That seems so fast. Swung on late on the four seam. Fruit arranger at the plate. A great average so far in these playoffs. Needs to step up here. 1-2 count.
Ooh,
Pressure bar.
finally a mistake pitch. Didn't get it.
Another one swung on late, and that's 2 outs. And now we're down to the final out here in Game 1 of the World Series. And we're going to see a pinch hitter. John Bonkers. Ace Exterminator is activated. That one's meaty, but swung on hard to the shortstop and put away. And Wishbone, just like that, Season 19 World Series. It's the Astronauts who go up 1-0. They win at home. And MAMAJUNEJUNE's going to do his best to try to respond in Game 2.
Yeah, it was great pitching from both players. They were both also getting on the ball. It's just when you're hitting balls hanging off the corners, a lot of those balls are going to be outs. I didn't dislike Mama. He actually out-hit Wishbone there. But Wishbone hit for power, and we know power rules sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. That was the difference in this game. Like you said, MAMAJUNEJUNE with more hits than Wishbone, and both with excellent pitching. The difference was Wishbone was able to take his mistakes over the wall, and Mama wasn't. So we'll see in Game 2 how that plays out. You'll give us a second to switch it over. We'll have the Civilizations perspective for Game 2 as we go into the home of MAMAJUNEJUNE. Give us just a minute. We'll switch it over. Okay, folks, after a great game one, another game where it was within 3 runs like these two seem like they do every time they play. Now we're into Sakura Hills, MAMAJUNEJUNE's home. We'll see if that home field advantage works out for the Civilization. No Big Sky this season, it's Sakura Hills. So a little bit harder to get home runs here, and the way that first game played out, the home runs were the difference. So I'll be interested to see how this one shapes up. It's going to be Gus Grissom to lead it off for the Astronauts, and we'll see who that starter is for MAMAJUNEJUNE on the mound. Bailey Lee had a great performance in game one. A similar starter here. Same Arsenal, I think it's a clone pitcher, same stats as well. Oh, a dive at first, but it wasn't needed, and because of it, a leadoff single here to start off the first.
Uni, I need you to share with me.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, let me know if that's good, miss.
Oh, good.
And we saw a steal while we were switching the screen over, so runner is on second now, and it looks like this one's going to advance him to third with all that speed from the leadoff runner. So just like that, 1 out and a runner on third, and Wishbone once again looking to start inning 1 off with a run and take the lead. Curveball up top, volatile and wild thing on this starter. This one's hit into center field, it's going to fall, and once again, in the bottom of the first here, Wishbone's able to push a run across. So 1 out, runner on first, and the bad ball hitter John Glenn, who had a home run in game 1. Looking to earn his keep, all that money that bad ball hitter cost. Finds himself in a 2-0 count. This one finds his own changeup. It's low at the feet, doesn't touch the dirt though, so no double play. Alan Shepard up to the plate, looking to improve the way he's played so far in these playoffs with under a 200 average. I believe he went hitless in that last one.
Yeah, only 6 hits despite the victory for the Astronauts. It's been a pitcher series so far.
Yeah, and you can't be surprised by it. These two find themselves in that Vaughn Acing conversation every season, and this one's well swung on a great pitch low and away, but a better swing up the middle. 2 are on now with 2 outs, and a dangerous hitter in Jim Level up to the plate. We'll see if he goes at him here. He's going to start him off with a curveball up top. It's going to be out of the zone and looked on 1-0. That volatile tray is something you got to look out for. A hit here could already send this pitcher to chance, and it's deep left field. It's a 3-run home run, and just like that, Wishbone up 4, and that volatile trade is no doubt going to kick in as this starter's getting absolutely roughed up here to start this game too.
Yeah, we kind of said it. That's the problem with Cutter. You got to locate that pitch, and that one was just a tiny bit off. I think in AAA you probably get away with that, but you're definitely not going to get away with that with all-time greats.
Yeah, have to play mistake-free baseball, and we're seeing Wishbone continuously take advantage of the mistakes as he takes a big lead here. Already has more runs than he had in game 1, and MAMAJUNEJUNE didn't score a single run in the last game. We'll see if he can turn it around here. He's one of those players that can get hot really quickly. It can just take a couple of good swings, and he'll find himself rolling. Big man Brooklyn in an 0-2 count to start as Bluford's on the mound with K Neglector and really low stats. This one's blooped to left field, but enough speed to get there from Shepard for the first out. 2-seam instead of Cutter for this starter. That curveball swung on. First pitch swinging and put away over there at second as MAMAJUNEJUNE's being aggressive at the plate. You want to do nothing more than answer after giving up 4 to start the game like that. We'll see if the starter for Mama can calm down the same way Bailey Lee did in the last game. Watches a couple pitches there. This one's low, a good eye, 2-2. Mazavaz, this is game 2. Game 1, Wishbone won 3-0.
Welcome, Maz.
And Wishbone steps back up to the plate now. With 4 in hand, can play much more loose, I would imagine, now with that big lead. And already a game in hand in this series.
Yeah, if you're the Civs, the good thing is it was first inning, and 4 runs is a lot. based on the pitching so far in this series, but it's still the first inning. I mean, anything can happen here.
Yeah, you'd much rather have it in the first than any later. This one swung on. Brooklyn dives, but not able to get there. Outfield was shallow, but it's not going to matter as the base runner is on to first. The mojo is up for that batter as well. I believe that's the pitcher that just hit a single. And now Gus Grissom up to the plate, watches a curveball to start the at-bat. 1-1 count. Cutter inside, swung on 1-2. Starter already tense on the mound. We'll see if Mama can correct it the same way he did before. This changeup's a little bit meaty, but swung on over to left field, popped up and put away by Fruit Arranger. And there's 2 outs. Watches the cutter outside. This one's located well in the corner, 1-1.
Yako just looking to get off of tense and might do it here.
Yeah, that's one thing about the volatile. You can switch it from tense all the way back to locked in a lot quicker than you can without the trait, obviously. A couple of scoreless innings and you might see that starter be on the other side of the mojo meter. Locked in already, though, is the starter for Wishbone. And we're seeing Mama swing at a lot of first and second pitches right now. Seems like he's trying to take more than he's given. We'll see if he can calm down and be a little bit more patient here.
He is giving pitches near and in the zone. You know, Mama June can hit even pitches slightly off the zone really well. I think he hasn't gotten his bat going.
Yeah, he's really topping a lot of hits. You're seeing a lot of his hard contact being into the dirt, and that's 3 up, 3 down on just 5 or 6 pitches right there. As Wishbone comes back up to the plate with a commanding lead here in the third. Yako still tense on the mound, up near 40 pitches now. If that one finds the zone.
He just needs 1 strikeout, should be back. Not easier said than done against these players, but...
Yeah, and that one's popped up. Arranger's not able to get there, slides on it, and he goes all the way for second, but he turns back around. So a leadoff single for the Astronauts as John Glenn steps up to the plate. Decent speed on first, but a good arm behind the plate. Curveball just inside, a good eye from the Astronauts.
And you can see it's harder to locate for Yako right now than Mama is used to.
Oh my, the same spot as the last one over there into the bullpen twice now in this game. And man, miss the power that Wishbone's displaying right now is everything. That's all the difference. And John Glenn, 2 games into the World Series, has his 2nd home run. And the Astronauts are up 6-0 here already in the third. And things are starting to get really rough out here for the Civ.
Yeah, that was actually a corner pitch, so I don't know what you're supposed to do about that.
Felt like he was getting close to going back to neutral, and now he's all the way down to rattled because of that volatile.
And he's still locating. I don't know how he's doing that.
Yeah, he still is. That one's put away for the first out after that 2-run home run. You got to believe that MJ is going to turn it on at some point. He's got to find that rhythm. He's locating well, but Wishbone just seems like he's completely dialed in at the plate. Hitting corner pitches like that one right there, blooped it out there. That's all you can really do with that pitch. That one's actually below the zone, and he's still able to get hit on it. Now good speed on first. We'll see if we see any base activity. This one's possibly in the gap. Oh, dove on and stopped it. So it prevents the double, but the runner moves up to third, and so now runners are on the corners of 1 out, and a really big spot here. But the lead already at 6. Don't want to make a mistake pitch in this moment, the way Wishbone's swinging the bat and the power on this batter. Ooh, that one's dangerous, but it's foul on the right side.
Yeah, he's just nailing anything that even touches the corner, and there it is again. He nailed it. But that time it didn't work out for him. Mama just needs to get out of here.
Desperately trying to get this third out in the inning and keep his Game 2 hopes alive. Finds himself in a 1-1 count. A good strike there. 1-2 to the pitcher who does have a hit in this game. Swings on one out of the zone, though, and it's going to be put away over at first base. So the 2-run home run is all you see there in the third. Wishbone up 6 now, already at 9 hits in the game, and MAMAJUNEJUNE still looking for his first hit. As he's got blinkers up to the plate, the bunter-sprinter combo, the center fielder, who had that excellent catch in Game 1. Swings on a fastball late, 1-1 now. Bluford looking much stronger on the mound as a locked-in pitcher than when he started. K Neglector negating that, though. 3 pitches up and in with the velo, and it gets Mama to pop it up over to short. MAMAJUNEJUNE taking a second here. Curveball just low. Good eye from Mama. Another one, same location, but that one's heat. Swings on one inside that moving fastball. As the game progresses, we're seeing a little bit more of stretching the zone at the plate for the Civ, and you can't blame him with the lead up at 6. It's hard to take it in that bat at a time. That one swung on, but such a small reticle for that pitcher. It's grounded out to second, 3 up, 3 down once again. So no hits through 3 innings for the Civ. And here comes Wishbone with the way he's got his bats going. You have to worry about every time he steps up a chance for a run rule. Good job not diving there, and he's got a good throw on the 99 power. Needed every bit of it to get that first out. This one squeaks through, though, and there's a single.
Wow, that's 10 hits to 0 right there.
Yeah, we're seeing a massive difference at the plate right now. Pitching-wise, both are still pitching well, but you have to figure out how to hit well-located pitches in the World Series, because that's really all you're going to get for the most part is well-located pitches. Another one that's hit that was up and in the corner, poked through the middle, and so 1 out with 2 runners on, and John Glenn is back up to the plate, who's had a monster start to this World Series.
That was an A-plus pitch, and he still hit it for a single.
Double play opportunity, exactly what the Civ needed. They put it away easily from second to short to first and get out of it. And they keep their hopes alive, looking still for their first hit here in this game. Just a hit or two you would think would really spark this lineup, but how do you get it with the way Wish is pitching right now? That one's meaty down the middle, swung on deep, but Sakura's really deep.
Didn't get it.
Yeah, not enough, and Grissom catches it at his knees for the first out. That's the biggest hit we've seen from Mama so far through these first 2 games, the first warning track power we've seen from Mama.
Yeah, he finally got a pitch to hit. He hit it well, and it was just, you know, it was a warning track shot.
And watches one up and in on the 4-seam for a looking strikeout, and there's the second. Can tell Mama's just a little bit off right now. He doesn't normally swing at balls. These are close balls, but he's swinging at a lot of stuff right off the edge of the zone. We didn't see that to start game 1.
Yeah, we're also seeing some uncharacteristic late, kind of feeble, tricked type swings from Mama, which, of course, against Wish is maybe not too surprising, but that's really not that's not Mama's MO. He usually comes up there with a lot more confidence, but it seems like he's a little bit rattled at the plate.
Yeah, I would no doubt say he's a little bit rattled right now, and that's why when you look at the experience of being in the World Series and how much it really means, this is Mama's first time there. It's his first moment in the biggest stage. Wishbone looks like he's comfortable. He looks like he's been here before. Watches that one just outside. What an eye and an 0-2 count. This one's a cutter and caught on by a Ranger for the first out. As Jim Lovell walks back up, he's got a home run in this game. Curveball finds his own. Still, the starter is working for the Civ, starting to correct the same way that first game happened, where the starter really locked it in those middle innings. Curveball, that one looked like it was above the zone, but still swung on, and Brooklyn's able to put it away for the second out here in the top of the 5th. Cutter poked over the head of the shortstop, and it seems like Wishbone finds a way to get at least a hit every inning, as he's got a runner on first now, and Jack Schmidt is up with dangerous power. This one poked up middle, and just like that, 2 are on all of a sudden, and a chance for a 2-out rally here. It's the pitcher up.
Yeah, you got to pull here.
And Mama goes for the relief pitcher sub, facing the pitcher for Wishbone. I'm surprised he went to that reliever. And now a 3-0 count to the pitcher. and walks him in 4 pitches. The bases are loaded now, and the number 1 hitter in this lineup is going to step up. But look at that, RBI 0, not the time you want it. But a home run here and the game's over. Or practically.
Right, you got a specialist on the mound. Should be able to hang.
Specialist and RBI 0. Yeah, tough to get a hit on that as Zaz is able to put it away and get out of the bases loaded jam. And the Civ come back up to the plate. The middle of their order is up. They're just looking to get anything going. I didn't look. I believe they still don't have a hit, Mist. We're in inning 5 now.
Right. But it's only the 5th inning. You just got out of a jam. It's 6 runs. I'm not counting Mama out here at all. I'm telling you.
No doubt. Whenever you're looking at the players that are capable of a comeback like this, Mama's at the top of that list. He hits another one into the dirt, though, to start off here. The bad ball hitter has been struggling so far in this series. And the pitcher is now on fire for the Astronauts. And finally, it's up the middle, and the first hit for MAMAJUNEJUNE. We'll see if he can build on it. It took 5 innings, but better late than never. And he still has, like you said, plenty of time. This one's hit hard to the second base, and Mattingly with a great dive over there and the mojo boost off of it. That's one of those where you feel like if that gets dropped, that really builds the momentum for the Civ.
Yeah, and that was an incredible swing on a dead corner pitch. He absolutely lined it up.
Yeah, you're seeing some good swings out of Mama now. That's a tough screwball to get a reticle on, especially with that specialist, but he does and ropes it through first and second base over there in that gap, and now 2 are on with 2 outs. This one's popped up, though, by a Ranger, and it looks like Wishbone should be able to put this away easily, and he does for the 3rd out. But we do see the first couple hits out of MAMAJUNEJUNE there. We'll see if he can turn that into a rally. He's done a good job holding the lead where it's at for a few innings now.
Definitely a confidence builder. I think he got quick pitched a little bit there on that last, but he had a great swing on the ball.
Yeah, putting together good swings. It's just his trajectory on these swings. Everything is getting put into the dirt on a line drive. He's not lifting the ball the way you would expect normally. Herrera on the mound trying to keep her team alive in this game. That screwball finds his own, swung on foul. 1-2 now. Forcing him up top, gets him swinging. On a ball out of the zone, I believe, and Blinkers puts it away, and there's 2 quick outs. And it's Sean Glenn up to the plate again, the most dangerous batter in this lineup. And he intentionally walks him, the first intentional walk we've seen so far in this series. Elects to face Alan Shepard, and it pays off with an easy ground out to second. And just like that, it might be a little bit of momentum building. He had a couple of hits before, and now he's got another clean inning under his belt. See if he can do anything. Decides to keep the pitcher in here as well.
This is a new pitcher, Tereshkova. Right?
Yeah, new reliever in for Wishbone, or I believe he subbed this pitcher in with 2 outs in the last inning.
Okay.
And the pitcher at the plate strikes out for the Civ. And this bullpen's so tough for the Astronauts with those traits that he has. This one's well located and hit to third base. Another one into the dirt. So 2 quick outs put away. It's Tereshkova. Oh, and she snags it right at her chest. We've seen the pitchers make some good plays on the mound. We haven't hardly seen any of those hardliners get dropped. I believe only 1 so far.
Yeah, no, the pitchers are quick in this series.
Fielding pays off. No big defense or whatever they call it in this one. This one swung on, hit to the feet of the second baseman. We're already into the top of the 7th here. Still 6-0. The score's been locked for a minute. Blinkers ranges back. It's going to be too far and over his head into the outfield. It's going to be an easy double with 2 outs there for Wishbone. As once again, he finds a way to get someone on base. It seems like he's done it every inning. And Tereshkova comes up to the plate, choosing to play defensive and keeps her in.
That's another really tough pitch that Wishbone was able to attack. I think Mama's more frustrated on the mound, to be honest, than anything with the plate. It's just Wishbone has had a really good game so far at the plate.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Mama's giving a whole lot of mistake pitches. Wishbone's just taking care of business with corner pitches. That curveball finds the zone after a fly out to get the first out. It's an 0-1 count here. And swings on that one way inside the two seam. You can see Mama's upset with himself. That one swung on a nice hit up the center. And so 2 innings in a row now that Mama's got hits. Starting to look more comfortable at the plate, but is it too little too late, or are we going to see that signature MAMAJUNEJUNE big inning? It's only one out here.
Yeah, it's so tough to face the specialist. You know, those traits are just so killer.
Yeah, they are. That one was swung on well, and you'd think maybe without specialist, the power reticle might have got that a lot further. That was a great swing from the sieve there. Wishbone just aggressively attacking the zone with this lead as another 0-2 count is here. Good eye there from Mama in an 0-2 count, though. 2-2 worked himself into a better hitters count. Another one watched, and it's a full count now. Curveball swung on, hit up the middle, and
good swing.
Another solid hit up the middle. 2 are on with 2 outs. What an excellent time this would be for us to see the first flash of power from Mama, but it's blinkers at the plate. He's got little to no power to work with. He's got sprinter though. Can he beat it out? And he does, and he rounds towards home, but he turns back.
That was fun.
Bases are loaded now. Fruit Arranger at the plate. He is
Why
tense.
does Mama have no hitters? All of his hitters are garbage.
Yeah, it seems like 6 through 9 or so are really tough batters to work with. Burt finds himself in a 2-1 count here, though, and hits that one. It's off-speed hitter, but it's misreticled and put away, and Wishbone an excellent job getting out of the bases-loaded jam. That could have completely changed the game and brought this thing much closer, but he gets out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to go with a pinch hitter or something. He had like 4 garbage hitters in a row. He loads the bases, and then he gets out.
Yeah, I would agree. I think a pinch hitter there would have probably been the move, but he doesn't. Now a slow roller up center, able to get a leadoff runner, and it's Steeler on first base. See how aggressive he gets. He's got plenty of house money to work with here. Changeup just low and a great eye from Wish. 3-0 count now. This one's meaty. Watch, 3-1 on the curveball. He's going to go for the curveball again. This one's in the middle of the zone and watched again, but the steal. And he's there safely off of that low velo pitch, but it's a full count. Swings at a cutter inside. Swings at another one inside. And 3 straight balls swung at from Wishbone. Very surprising. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, no! Wishbone perfectly maneuvers the base path, and he's able to keep both safe, and that is huge in this moment. And now we'll see what happens here. He elects to throw it out at first, but the runner moves up to second, so runners are on second and third with John Glenn up. And we'll see if he elects to walk here, and he does. I'd be interested to see if... Surely he'll sub here, right? The relief pitcher. No, decides to keep Herrera in. This one floated. This should be enough for a sac fly, though. Not a great arm on right fielding. Really good speed coming down to home. It's close, though, but he is safe. And for the first time in a while, Wishbone's able to squeak a run across and extend that lead. Still, though, a good job from MAMAJUNEJUNE right there to only give up 1. Kept that reliever in and really did a good job. And this is why he kept her in, because she was up to the plate. And we see John Bonkers back up with that Ace Exterminator activated. Not activated against Yuri, though. I'm very surprised by that. Oh, wait, it is. But reverse splits, negating it. All this velo. Mama hasn't had to deal with this sort of velo, and now in the 8th inning, he has to adjust now. He's got no time. Only 6 outs to play with, and down 7. Another good swing, but you can see that power meter's off. Just hits it into the dirt over at second base. Swings that one inside now. Worth noting, surrounded is on Yuri. If Mama could get a couple of base runners on, he could really make this pitcher much more manageable.
Right.
Full count now worked by big man Brooklyn. Oh, another one that's heat on the low and away corner, and you can see that velo is so tough to adjust late in the game when you haven't seen 100 miles an hour the whole time. Screwball well located, but a really good swing from Mama there, and a good power meter. It seems like all of Mama's hits are liners up the middle. When are we going to see that flash of power? That one swung on him foul. Swings on a cutter inside now, and it should be put away easily from the shortstop, and it is. And we're going into the top of the ninth here. And we would need something epic out of the sieve. It's 17-6 on the hits. It's 7-0 on the scoreboard. Wishbone looking like he's going to quite likely take a 2-0 series lead. But if y'all watch the semifinals, I don't think a 2-0 series lead really means anything to these players. MAMAJUNEJUNE still has 3 outs to play with at the plate to try to have a comeback, though.
Yeah, really tough rowing here. Mama has not scored a run in the series, despite, I mean, it really isn't that bad of a job at the plate. It's the pitching has been tough, just hasn't broken through.
He's been hitting it hard. I just feel like every hard hit has had no upward trajectory, is why he keeps hitting it hard into the infield, which I can definitely relate to. I feel like I have a similar problem. He's able to get 3 up, 3 down there, and now bottom of the ninth, needing 7 runs. We'll see if it's possible, if he can do it. That one's well swung on, but another warning track shot. The second time this game we've seen a warning track shot from the bad ball hitter. Another good swing, but up and in on the chin. So 2 outs now, and Wishbone 1 out away from taking a 2-0 series lead here in the World Series in season 19, trying to complete what he didn't do last season and win a championship. MAMAJUNEJUNE now finds himself down 0-2 in the set, and Wishbone shows that experience he has in the World Series and takes Game 2 in commanding fashion by 7 runs.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say absolutely fantastic play from WishboneRulz. Just incredible play. MAMAJUNE, don't hang your head. I didn't feel like Mama played that badly. He's pounding pitches near or on the corner pretty frequently, and overall he pitched well. He struggled early in games. I'm not sure the dynamic there. It felt like it was more Wishbone hitting than Mama mislocating or anything. So maybe there's an adjustment there. I'm not really sure what he could have done better.
Yeah, I would agree. It's hard to really say anything other than that was a great job by Wishbone, because like you said, Mama still pitched at the level that we would expect him to pitch. He did, even with the way Wishbone pitched, you would expect Mama to at least, I mean, when's the last time, I'd like to see the last time Mama ever got shut out 2 games in a row. Like, that's insane. I think that just shows he's a little bit off at the plate right now, but Mama's someone that you would expect to be able to figure it out, someone that you think is going to get into the batting practice mode and figure out exactly how to hit that sort of stuff. And I think this series is far from over. It's 2-0, but we saw both of these guys have comebacks before, and we both know that MJ is one of those players, just like he did in the semifinals. When he figures it out at the plate, he figures it out, and he starts an onslaught. And it seems like Wishbone is in that mode right now, but we know day-to-day is different in SMB. And the next time we hop on, this might be exactly the opposite of what we saw tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a tribute to momentum, because when you're behind the 8 ball with momentum and you're playing such a great player as either one of these guys, it's just they won't, it's like getting pounded on the ground and you just can't get up. If you could just get up, you could put a real fight in, but they won't let you back up. And that's why I think the early attack from Wishbone is basically what ruled both games. Is he got those early runs that seemed to just nullify MAMAJUNEJUNE despite really pretty good efforts.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I think that's a really good point that we probably could have mentioned earlier is when it comes to momentum against a really good player, it's so hard to turn that momentum around because that player's, when you think about momentum, when it starts building, the player on the bad side of it starts making more and more mistakes. It starts parlaying into more and more mistakes. But when you play a player like Wishbone, he's not going to mount multiple mistakes in a row, or very rarely are you going to see him make multiple mistakes in a row, especially within an inning or two of themselves. So, yeah, I think that's a really good point that it seems like Wishbone jumping on Mama early. He scored an inning one in both games. And like I said before, Mama's not been here before. So the pressure's already there for Mama on top of the fact that Wishbone then takes an early lead. I think that's really a killer so far. And I think in games 3 and 4, that's what Mama really needs to focus on is how do I keep the game tied or take the lead early on. I think this might be the sort of series that whoever takes the lead first starts pitching with poise and batting with more poise, and they're able to run with it from there.
Yeah, a long way to go. Yeah, we didn't really get a chance to see much run game, small ball, anything like that. It just seemed like it was both players throwing haymakers, and Wishbone happened to be the one that landed. But long ways to go. I honestly, that's probably the best scored zero in both games performance I've ever seen. I mean, he's pounding balls that are on the corner. I mean, of course, it's not what it's. He's not going to be proud or happy about it, but I mean, it wasn't like complete garbage. You're facing a tough foe, and against a really tough foe, such as either one of these guys, if you lose momentum and they won't let you up off the mat, it's hard to mount anything.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think MAMAJUNEJUNE looked incompetent at the plate or anything, and you didn't see his location on the mound really be anything other than normal. He was just hitting hard balls at people, and sometimes that's how the game works. Sometimes if your reticle is just slightly off, you're consistently hitting it in a line drive at people, and that's really all we saw for 2 games, and that's something that's very correctable and something I quite frankly expect MAMAJUNEJUNE to correct. So we'll see how that goes in games 3 and 4, but it was really fun tonight to kick off our first World Series here in Season 19. XBL has just completely blown through the playoffs. It's been wonderful to see, and AA is now, they have their World Series set, and AAA is getting closer and closer, and then obviously we have the Cup still running. So you got anything to say before we get out of here, Mist?
No, I'm looking forward to more in this series. We're gonna have Heisman versus Elron Coin is about ready to get going. We're coordinating that. Spliffy is locked in a battle there. So, and then we still got AA. So, and Cup is rolling. So it's a good time to be a Super Mega Baseball aficionado or junkie or whatever we want to call it. But stay tuned, folks. There's going to be a lot of fun over the next month.
Yeah, well said. And like you said, we've got a lot of stuff cooking up, a lot of stuff on the way. It's the best time of the year for XBL with all these final end of the season series between semifinals, World Series, and eventually it'll roll right into the Cup finals usually. So there's a lot of shows on the way, a lot of stuff to look forward to, and a lot of good games, I'm sure. We've already seen a lot, and I believe there's going to be more to come. So thanks for casting with me, Miss. Shout out to both players. And Barry talking shit. Shout out to both players for giving us a good show. And we'll catch y'all next time. So stay tuned to the Discord for the schedule and the announcements. And good luck in your Cup games, everybody. And we will catch y'all soon. See y'all later.